Hey guys, Tim Dorman here for the Long Haired Gardener, and I am back with another garden tour. Hard to believe we are in September, which means fall is right around the corner. So it's time to enjoy every last day here in the garden before winter creeps in right around the corner. Alright, so come along and take a look at all of my garden updates. Alright guys, let's do a little walk around and see the progress of the plants, and also maybe as we go along here I'm just going to kind of talk through what I think was successful and maybe what plants I won't be bringing back next year. So I've talked about this many times before, and I'm very happy to report that the passion flower has finally bloomed this year. It actually goes, if you follow the top of the wall, it goes all the way out there to the corner. So I'm very happy about that. I think the only thing I'm going to change for next year is I put this sweet potato vine in here, and frankly it's gotten a little lost just because of the color of the leaves. It's the same color as the passion flower and also the canna, so it kind of got lost. Sweet potato vines also tend to be water hogs, so it's probably not a plant that I want to put back in there with that passion flower, because the passion flower requires a lot of water to bloom. So passion flower was finally a success, but may just put sweet potato vine somewhere else next year. As far as the cannas go, I'm happy with their height and their overall look. I think maybe I just need to look a little harder and get the actual varieties that I was looking for. I've mentioned before that I was interested in getting the Tropicana Gold. That's what I thought I was purchasing, and turns out I got these guys instead, which were fine. But when I'm relying so heavily on a garden that focuses on foliage, I would like the foliage to just be a little bit more interesting than this plain green. So I will be bringing the cannas back, but hopefully a different variety, specifically the Tropicana series. The Lantana is a favorite of mine, and it's doing great. I think I've mentioned before, I bring this particular plant in every year, so I'm going to do that again this year, and hopefully it will survive, and I'll be able to bring it back outside in the springtime. This plant right here, I still like this plant, but it seems like every year it's another situation where I'm just not quite getting the right variety. This is the ornamental black pearl pepper plant, and the variety that I am looking for is really dark. It's almost black. It's actually, the leaves should look more like this sweet potato plant over here, but I keep getting all these different variegated or various color leaves, so it's just not quite exactly what I'm looking for. So hopefully we're going to try it again next year. This will be year or attempt number 3, and hopefully I can get those really dark leaves that I'm looking for. So we have been having all kinds of crazy weather, which I'm sure a lot of people are. So some things that I put down in this section right here have disappeared, and I think it's maybe because there's been too much rain. I had some balloon flower plants over here, and it looks like, I'm going to zoom down in here, looks like it's still here, just the main plant kind of died off a little bit. There are two of them, there's another one, no, it's right over here, it's a little bit bigger. I think what happened with these is the brown-eyed Susans basically got too big and fell on top of them and kind of smothered them a little bit. There was also a bleeding heart plant that I put back there. Same thing happened with that. I think it just kind of got smothered. So both of those plants are perennial. With any luck, hopefully next year I'll have a surprise and they will return. So the main thing that has changed over here is I put this Colocasia teacup in the ground. It was in a pot before, and I also just sat this pot down here. There were dahlias over here, or there still are dahlias over here. They're right here. I think I just put these in not an ideal location, maybe not quite enough sun. They tend to get really tall, kind of leggy, and fall over a lot, and that's not the look that I'm going for. I think they need a sunnier spot, and I'm not sure if I'm going to bring them back next year. I don't particularly enjoy plants that I have to stake up, and dahlias might fall into that category. The caladiums are definitely a favorite of mine, so of course they will be coming back next year, and I can't wait to buy some more varieties. I think this planter right here was a huge success. I really enjoyed the Gardenmeister fuchsia, which is, I'm getting hit in the face here with elephant ears, which is this one back here. I thought that was really nice, so I may try to bring that back next year. And while I'm down here, I just want to point out this teacup Colocasia is shooting out runners. So there are a couple of them coming off of this plant, and that is actually how this plant spreads. So if we lived in a climate that was warm all year round, this plant would probably spread all over the place. So moving over, the Mojito Colocasia, absolutely love this plant. So it will be coming back again next year. I also enjoyed this Rex begonia back here. Possibly we'll bring that back as well. Right now I'm dealing with a lot of too much water situation from all of the rain that we've had. So some of the plants are starting to yellow a little bit, or they've just kind of gotten broken by the hard rain. Alright, so these are all hostas, and they are perennial, so they will be coming back next year. And then I also have this houseplant section back here, so all of those things live inside, of course, over the winter. We've got some more caladium. I really love this coleus, and what I really liked about it is the red speckles in the leaves, and for some reason those speckles have haven't been very present all year, and now all of a sudden they are showing up, so kind of glad that I can finally see those red dots. Alright, I am walking through the hostas, hopefully not breaking anything, because I wanted to stop back here at these other houseplants. They, these guys have been around for a long time. The croton on the left is probably about 8 years old, and I bring it out every summer. I think that helps it grow. It's a tropical houseplant, so it helps with the jungle aesthetic that I go for, and it just thrives so much more out here than inside an apartment. The plant right next door is the angel wing begonia. This plant is at least 10 years old, and as you can see, it is blooming, and the flowers are quite amazing. It has been blooming for a while now, and as you can see, I am knocking some off. Alright, let's spin around here. Okay, I just stepped on something really squishy. This Cypress Spike here, I absolutely love, and will definitely be buying another one for next year. I may try to bring that inside to see if I can overwinter it, but that maybe will be a stretch. So far, I've been really happy with a lot of things. Maybe just the Dahlias. Not super excited about trying those again next year. Always a fan of the Purple Heart, which is this plant right here. Does incredibly well. And as far as the annuals go, I've really enjoyed these salvia. That's the purple and the red plants down here. They've done really well. I may consider bringing them back next year. They did well in the ground, but I had some more. I'll just step over here. I was avoiding showing this area because it looks really bad. There are some salvia down here. You can barely tell that they're in here. They didn't do so well with the pots. The Purple Heart, of course, is doing well. I think the main issue with this area has been the fact that it's in full sun, and maybe too many plants in too small of pots, and there were moments where they dried out, and then I overwatered them. So going from extremely dry to too wet throughout the summer, just not ideal growing conditions. While I'm standing here, let's just pan up and take a look at how amazing all these elephant ears look. So this one right here is the upright elephant ear. I'm very happy with that, and that will definitely be coming back again next year. I think I may need to cut back a little bit on all of the other traditional elephant ears, like this one right here. I think they're almost overwhelming the garden. There's too many of them. So I may only plant one traditional elephant ear, whereas right now there's probably 5. And I may replace it or sneak in another elephant ear, specifically one that's more dark or black in color, because as you can see, it's very it's all the same color green going on in here. Moving down here, I did have a bee balm plant right down here where this big empty spot is, and it's been there for a few years. I honestly didn't plant it there. I think it was part of like a wildflower seed packet, so it just kind of showed up, and it wasn't always my favorite because it tended to flop a lot, split open, cover up other plants, and it always had powdery mildew on it. So just the other day I decided to tear it all out And it was good timing because a plant that I had on back order had arrived. It's not doing anything right now, but right here on this side we have a Clematis Niobe, and on the other side of this trellis there's another Clematis. I just don't remember the name of it right now. Some people call it Clematis, some people call it Clematis. In case you're wondering, hey, what am I talking about? A lot of plants I've probably mentioned before, they go by a lot of different names. So this right here is a Echinacea or coneflower plant. It is almost ready to start blooming, and I hope I do get a bloom out of it this year. That particular one I grew from seeds. There are 3 of them. There's another one right down here, and there's another one that's kind of mixed in with all of these caladium. So those are perennial, and hopefully they will come back next year because I enjoy those plants. This right here, it's kind of falling over a little bit and also blending in with the salvia. That's a starship lobelia, also another plant I grew from seed. So hopefully it will come back next year as it is another perennial. So we saw this planter from the other side. This is the one that has the Cypress Spike in it. I think next year I will put that Cypress Spike back in this pot, but I definitely need to do some reworking on the bottom portion. As you can see, things kind of got a little crowded out or lost. This silver mist here is doing quite well, but everything else kind of, I don't know, kind of got buried a little bit. There is a begonia in there. You can see just like 1 or 2 flowers left, but need to think of something a little bit different to go in there. There's also a Persian shield, and it definitely is a little on the small side. Alright, down here I had a lamb's ear and it completely died. Not sure what happened there. Maybe too much rain. And I also suspect the neighbor's cat likes to pee on it. So either way, we had to say goodbye to the lamb's ear. Alright, we got some more houseplants over here, which are gonna have to come inside pretty soon. This one is making me nervous because of how many yellow spots there are on the leaves. That particular plant, and I'll have to look up the name because I can't remember right now, my mom gave me, and I can remember this plant being around when I was a kid. So we're talking back in the 90s. That actual plant, not one like it, but that particular one, has been alive since the 90s, which is pretty crazy to think about. I have been in possession of it for maybe 5 or so years, so I'm a little concerned that the leaves are turning that color, because I am responsible for a plant that's been alive for a long time. Alright, I think that pretty much covers this garden update. Alright guys, that's pretty much everything for today. Thank you for following along. If you enjoy these videos, please click like and subscribe so I know I should make some more videos. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below in the comment section. Have a good day.